Hi everyone, my name is Fucha Yang, and today I would like to present our paper titled On the Intelligence and Knowledgeability of Virtual Agents. The authors are me, Fucha Yang, Misu Cho, Dominic Gao, and Christos Moses. Our research explored how different cognitive traits, the intelligence and knowledgeability of virtual agents, influence users' perception and user interactions in immersive VR environments. Before discussing our study, it is important to clarify the distinction between intelligence and knowledgeability. According to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, intelligence is the ability to learn or to understand or to deal with new situations, or the ability to apply knowledge to manipulate one's environment or to think abstractly. In contrast, knowledgeability is the state of having knowledge, information, and understanding. Knowledge is the sum of what is known, the body of truth or principle acquired by humankind. Although these concepts are clearly distinguished in cognitive science, they are often conflated in the design of virtual agents and AI systems. Most prior work in human-computer interaction and virtual agents has predominantly focused on exploring the intelligence of virtual agents, but not exactly its knowledgeability. And there's very few studies that have examined knowledgeability as a separate cognitive trait. As a result, we still lack understanding of how these two traits differ in shaping users' perception and interaction experiences. So our study aims to bridge this gap by investigating how intelligence in agent and knowledgeabilities in agent independently and jointly influence user perception in immersive VR. To operationalize these constructs, we design the agent intelligence as the agent's accuracy in solving a collaborative jigsaw puzzle, and the agent's knowledgeability as the amount of art-related knowledge the agent provides about the puzzle's artwork through conversational interaction. Participants work together with the agent solving a puzzle while conversing with the agent about the artwork, The Screen by Edvard Munch. Based on this motivation, we developed several research questions. First, how do these two design cognitive traits impact user perceived intelligence, perceived knowledge of the agent, so as the comparison between self and agent and intelligence and knowledgeability? Second, the social and emotional experiences. So how do these traits influence users' experiences according to the co-presence and uncanny valley effect, report, and trust ratings? Third, we investigate how these cognitive traits influence interaction dynamics, such as puzzle completion time, puzzle piece count placed by the participant, and also participants' dwell gaze distributions. Finally, we look into the conversational transcripts to understand the conversational dynamics between participants and the agent. So please take a look at this video that showcases our conditions.
Intelligence indicates the virtual agent's ability to solve the jigsaw puzzle. Here is the low intelligence of a virtual agent. Here is the high intelligence of a virtual agent. Knowledgeability indicates the depth of knowledge in the domain of art. Here is the low knowledgeability of a virtual agent. The artist behind the Scream is Edvard Munch, a Norwegian painter. He created it in 1893, but I'm not too sure about more details on his life or other works. Here is the high knowledgeability of a virtual agent. The Scream by Edvard Munch is not just visually striking, but also rich in history. Did you know that there are 4 versions of this artwork? Munch experimented with different mediums, creating 2 in paint and 2 in pastels along with a series of lithographs.
So our system integrates multiple technologies to support a natural human-agent interaction. The virtual agent was implemented in VR environment and integrated with LLM-based conversational capabilities, enabling dynamic responses during interactions. Participants could interact with the agent while manipulating the puzzle pieces in VR, creating a collaborative problem-solving scenario that combines task interaction and conversation. The setup allows us to observe behavioral collaboration and conversational dynamics. We conducted a user study with 24 participants, including 13 13 male and 11 female participants. The average age was approximately around 26 years old. The participant reported moderate experience with VR application and slightly higher was past use of conversational AI tools such as ChatGPT. And before running the study, we did a power analysis that suggests that 24 participants were sufficient to achieve 80% statistical power of our repeated measure design. So each participant are experienced in all 4 conditions in the counterbalance order. So here is a video of the user study session.
Can you tell me more about the history of the artist?
Honestly, I'm not too sure about the detailed history of Edvard Munch himself. From what I know, he was Norwegian and his work really impacted Expressionism. Do you know any other interesting facts about him?
So let's share some of the study results. First, we examine how the experimental condition affect the perceived intelligence and perceived knowledge. Our results show a clear main effect from agent intelligence on all 4 ratings: the perceived intelligence, the perceived knowledge, and the intelligence and knowledgeability comparisons. While agent knowledgeability had main effect on perceived knowledge and both the intelligence and knowledgeability comparison. Interestingly, we also observe interaction effects suggesting that users interpret these cognitive traits in relation to each other rather than independently. This indicates that users form holistic impressions of the agent's cognitive abilities from both the intelligence shown in puzzle solving competence and also conversational interaction about the puzzle art. Next, we examine the social and emotional outcomes, including co-presence, uncanny valley, rapport, and trust. We found that agent intelligence significantly influenced all 4 aspects through the significant main effect in our result, and the agent knowledgeability only had significant main effect on trust. In addition, there's an interaction effect observed in co-presence, suggesting that combining high intelligence with high knowledgeability can foster an even stronger sense of co-presence. When the agent demonstrates stronger problem-solving abilities, participants are reported to experience more positive social connection with the agent. So this finding suggests that task competence plays a really important role in social perception during human-agent collaboration tasks. We also analyzed the interaction performance metrics, including the puzzle completion time and the puzzle piece count. The results show that agent intelligence had a strong effect on task performance. The low intelligence agents would slow down the completion time, while the participant task take up more responsibility in correctly placing the puzzle. We further examined the visual attention patterns, including the gaze toward the agent, the puzzle board, and the puzzle pieces. The results show that the participants allocate attention differently depending on agents' cognitive traits. For example, higher knowledgeability agents tend to attract more gaze from the participants, and lower intelligence agent results in more gaze on the puzzle piece, since the participants need to focus more on correcting the agent's error. These findings reveal how cognitive traits can shape attention distribution through collaboration tasks. Finally, the conversational dynamics. So we categorize the responses from the participants into 3 main categories: the art-related responses, puzzle-related responses, and responses that doesn't belong to any of the above 2 categories. The results indicate that knowledgeability significantly influenced art-related conversation, while the intelligence more strongly influenced task-related dialogue, mostly related to task incompetence in low intelligence conditions, where the participants are trying to correct the agents through verbal communication. This suggests that different cognitive traits also encourage different type of communications through the interaction. So our study has some limitation. First is our experimental design. So we only narrow the intelligence in the puzzle solving task, which represent only one dimension of intelligence. And then our conversational system allow a free flow discussion, which sometimes introduce off-topic conversational exchanges. And second, the virtual agent design had certain limitation. It exhibit unnatural animation, and also the use of only one female avatar could also introduce bias. And third, there are some limitations on the system constraints, including the API latency, and there's like limited gaze tracking granularity on different body parts of the agents. And last is our study scope, where we only conducted the studies through short sessions interactions. To provide a conclusion, our study shows that intelligence and knowledgeability are distinct yet interrelated cognitive traits in virtual agents. These traits influence how users perceive the agent and how they interact with it, and our findings highlight that the importance of intentionally designing agents' cognitive ability rather than treating intelligence or knowledgeability as a single dimension. So looking forward, future work could explore additional cognitive traits such as emotional intelligence, reasoning ability, learning capacity, as well as how task complexity influence human-agent collaborations. Ultimately, understanding these cognitive dimensions can help us design a more adaptive, socially situated, and effective virtual agents for VR.